Okay, welcome everyone. It's great to see everyone logged in, and I'm excited to see so many people that I've met with or emailed with, or people that I haven't met with or emailed with. So very happy to see everyone. Well, allow me to greet you on behalf of the Bob Graham Center here at the at the University of Florida in Pugh Hall. We're in this second floor of Pugh Hall. And we're very happy to have so many people logged in and eager to learn about our summer and fall Washington internship program. Again, greeting from the Graham Center. We're a nonpartisan academic unit, the home of international studies and our public service minor, and just very appreciative to share with you a little bit more about one of our signature programs, our Washington internship program. Well, without further ado, allow me to move forward. I'm eager to get started with you. For today, we're going to have a period of welcome that I've already been doing. We're already underway with that. We're going to provide an overview of the WIP program to really help you understand what this program is, and so that you can learn a little bit more about the moving parts of the program, some of the very common student questions about the program. I want to talk about the basics of of work, the academic credits you can get, a placement. I also want to talk about housing, what to expect in DC, placement opportunities. That's a very important component. We match students with specific placements. And I want to provide some time for coaching so that maybe you listen to this and this is the right summer or fall for you, or maybe you hear this and say, well, maybe I'm 1 or 2 semesters away and I'll consider applying again. Either way, we're going to have some just coaching or some advice time for strengthening an application, and then Q&A time. We're going to do all that pretty quickly, in fact. So hang on, let's get started. Well, again, my name is Kevin Bird. I'm the domestic experiential learning coordinator here at the Graham Center, and I also teach history courses. Maybe some of you have taken a course with me. Usually I teach an American history course, but right now I'm teaching a class on democracy in Florida and the Gulf South. Pretty cool class. We're going to be joined on the call a little bit later by Miss Shelby Beck, live and in person from Washington, D.C. She is actually one of our high-achieving alum of this program that was very soon or almost immediately after offered a job. And also another one of our WIP alum, Miss Lizette Mejia, who is here and admitting you. That's how you got in. Lizette admitted you. She's also serving as an experiential learning student. Oh, hello there, Miss Beck. She's also serving as a student, experiential learning student assistant. So we're very eager to have you hear from them as well. Let me go ahead and start to provide an overview. It's important to know that the Washington Internship Program, we run it every summer, fall, and spring. It is a partnership between the UF Bob Graham Center and the UF Federal Relations Office. Why is that significant? Well, this is different than you just landing an internship on your own in Washington, D.C. This is you being eager, enthusiastic about partnering with the Graham Center and the Federal Relations Office to do good work yourself, but also represent the entire university in D.C. So when you hear from Miss Beck, if you were selected for this program, there's an opportunity that someone's coming to town and we need a Washington Internship Program student to help meet them and to help hand them off to the next meeting. We're looking for people that understand how important it is, the work that UF Federal Relations is doing, and wants to help not only in your congressional office, but wants to help do the work of representing the University of Florida with the Federal Relations Office. The UF Office of Federal Relations helps to pay for half of your housing and other scholarships. So we want a partner, a stakeholder, someone that understands how to partner with others, not just quote unquote do your own thing like a lone wolf. Well, this internship again runs every summer, fall, and spring, or another way to say it, spring, summer, and fall. It is a full-time 40-hour-a-week in-person internship. You need to be a currently enrolled undergraduate. If you're graduating, at the end of this term, you would not be eligible for summer, though I would keep listening because a lot of the stuff that I share you could use to potentially locate an internship on your own. But you do need to be a currently enrolled undergraduate student. The academic course, we are able to offer credit through the Graham Center for 0 to 9 credits of IDS 4940. Now, some departments like political science, a few other departments like history, they'll offer you 3 credits through them, and then you can do 0 to 6 through us for a total of 9. Why would somebody want to take a certain amount of credits, maybe up to 9 credits of internship for this work? Well, because that helps you get up to a threshold for Pell Grant or Bright Futures by taking 1 additional class. We do not recommend that you go into this internship taking a lot of traditional online courses, more than 1 or 2, because we want your time to be available to say yes to get coffee with someone in DC that's working for this company or for this office. We want you to be available. This is a cohort format. So again, we're not looking for lone wolf people that just want to go to DC and do your own thing. We're looking for people that are going to be a great member of a team, helping to represent themselves and the University of Florida. So in that, we're looking for people who can relate to people who are different than them. People, I love that we send groups of students serving in a range of offices, and in their relationships in the living space, they are collegial, collaborative, encouraging, complementary to one another. They are never demeaning or demonstrative or anything but supportive. So I love that we have that base experience of human interactions with each other in a cohort. I value having cohorts of students that learn to discuss their differences and display civility and kindness to each other, even with those differences. This internship also involves you doing a policy communication project at the end of the term. It's a 5-minute presentation on a policy that affects the University of Florida and the state of Florida. We do 5 minutes because in the end, when you move in as a young professional into some of these executive spaces, you will have a very concise amount of time to convey your most compelling points. And the ability to do that is quite key because often these offices are very busy. So people that can get to the point and in a compelling way it's a skill to develop. We also have different professional development opportunities and networking opportunities. Now, in this internship, you're going to be taking the lead to set up networking opportunities for yourself. So you're going to be taking the lead to work up a matrix of people that you want to meet while you're in DC, the coffee talks that you want to schedule. But you will have the support of some of the individuals that Ms. Beck will help to introduce you to, in addition to you taking the lead. That's not per se her role, that's your role, but you will have some support. This does involve us covering housing and us providing a cost of living scholarship if the office that you're serving in doesn't already provide a stipend. So if you're in a stipend office, we don't provide a $2,000 scholarship, but if you're not in a stipend office, we provide a $2,000 scholarship. That means that there's going to be some people that get $2,000 and there's going to be maybe your roommate that gets more because you're in an office that provides a stipend. We need people that can get over that difference and be collegial with one another, even if the person that you're rooming with gets $500 more because they're in a stipend office. We place students in places we can place them. So we need students that understand this is much more than just about a couple $100 difference or $1,000 difference over the term because of where you're placed. A student that we're looking for understands the value of this, regardless of if it's paid or not paid. Again, we cover housing and provide a cost of living scholarship. Housing is safe housing. It is close to the Capitol. It is, please know this, it is shared quad style. So it is generally as a base, it is 4 to a room with their own bathroom and a little living area. So we're looking for people that know how to proactively get along with others, again, in their live space, and that as training for your professional development as a human being. I would say that the The housing accommodations are Spartan. They are not luxurious. They are they're Spartan. They are basic. You're going to be working. You're going to be working a lot. You're going to be going to things. You're going to be networking. You're going to be having coffee with people. You're going to be going to after hours meetings. And so this is a place for you to sleep. This is not necessarily a place for you to enjoy your luxury lifestyle. Okay, well, here is some more about the housing. Again, it's the housing is located on Capitol Hill. It it will involve quad or trio style housing. If a person would like to pay over that amount, they can interact directly with Wish to pay, several thousands over that if there are single rooms available. If there's several ifs that I just said. So if you're moving forward with us, you need to move forward with the possibility or even the primary idea that it's going to be quad style. That's what we cover. Anything above that, you cover if it's available. If. It is available through, it is accessible through the metro and bus lines. These are fully furnished bedrooms with kitchens and living spaces and amenities, plus, 24-hour, mostly it should be secure and basically functional housing for you. You're going to be safe, basically. This is what I'm trying to tell you. We are looking for people that are going to have great roommate etiquette. We need people that are going to embrace working it out together, where just that you ate somebody's Oreos and now they're mad. Y'all process that together, work up some rules for the room, be collegial, be kind, be civil, but be proactive and be peaceful. I can definitely help out with some assistance, but we're looking for people that embrace being a great roommate. Also that navigate differences. Many of you have not roomed with people before, so that's okay. It is a skill. It's a wonderful skill. We do need you to abide by house rules, so no alcohol, no smoked substances of any kind. Pretty much, I can't think of anything you can smoke that would be according to the rules. So pretty much anything that you would smoke, it's against the rules, pretty much. And then guest. Again, this is just for the safety. You can meet a guest someplace else. And do whatever, but in the housing, the people that are in the housing are there, and we want to keep a very predictable, safe space there. They do routine checks and about alcohol, about substances and guests. So thank you for proceeding. If you would like to proceed with WIP, that you abide by that. Well, what to expect in DC? What you really should expect is opportunities to proactively engage in professional development. We're looking for people that want to take advantage of your time in DC, that want to follow up on your policy interest by attending this meeting or this committee hearing or this opportunity or this thing after work, to work on a special product, to get your work done in your office and say, I'd really like to learn more about this as well, to go to this hearing or this briefing or this other item. We're looking for people with an interest and a drive and a desire to proactively follow up. Sorry about that, Ms. Beck. Again, also, we're looking for people who want to attend receptions or invitations. Someone says, would you like to go to this dinner? We want people who are hungry, both metaphorically and actually hungry, to go to these receptions and engage in this type of social context. I want people that when the snow clears, that people that want to go to the DC Gator Club and play kickball or whatever they do. The one in the DC Gator the New York Gator Club plays kickball. I'm not sure if the DC Gator Club plays kickball. Miss Beck will let you know.
DC Gator Club does too.
All right, it's a kickball. it's a kickball situation, so that's great. So we're wanting people that want to engage with other human beings while you're in DC. That doesn't mean you can't be any personality type or so forth. We just want you to maximize that time to engage with others. Well, here we go, Ms. Beck. Please allow us to take it over to you and just let me know when you need us to advance the slides.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much, Dr. Bird. So nice to see/meet everyone on this call. I know I've spoken to some of you before. Maybe I've met you at Beyond 120 or at a Graham Center event or just whenever I'm back on campus. But my name is Shelby Beck. I'm the Federal Relations Associate for the University of Florida's Office of Federal Relations. As Dr. Bird said, I'm based live and in person in Washington, D.C. There's about 2 inches of what they're calling snowcrete right now outside, which is snow that then melted and then froze again, and now is like concrete, and they can't get rid of it. And it's been there for 2 weeks. So yeah, that's what life in DC is like right now. But as some background on my office, we're the eyes, ears, and advocates of the university. So our job is to help the university react and respond to things coming down the federal pipeline, and then advocate on behalf of the university and its interests at the executive and legislative branches. Um, as the associate, I do a lot of different things, but one of my favorite things is helping Dr. Bird run this program through our partnership with the Bob Graham Center. Like Dr. Bird mentioned, I actually did this program, so I did it summer of 2023. I'm aging myself a little bit now. I remember when that used to be a couple semesters ago, but it's okay. And I was placed in the UF Federal Relations Office, and I worked there for the summer. And then at the end of the summer, they offered me this job, and I've been here ever since. I'm also currently a master's student at UF, getting that online at night, so I don't get a lot of sleep. So please forgive me if I stumble over my words a little bit. Yeah, so that's a little bit about me in my office. Can we go to the next slide so I can get started on placement? Perfect. Awesome. So just, I'm sure a lot of you are wondering kind of how placement works in this program, what this list of offices means, all that fun stuff. So first and foremost, I like to say this list is by no means comprehensive or restrictive. So by that I mean you don't have to pick people off this list. These are just offices that we've placed in the past. Anyone in the Florida delegation is free and fair game. We've placed outside of the Florida delegation before, but it's rare. I would recommend that in your application when you're listing preferred offices, you stick primarily with the Florida delegation, but by no means do you need to stick with this list. So the way placement works in this program, we help you align and go after internship programs, but ultimately at the end of the day, getting an internship is your responsibility with guidance from myself, Dr. Bird, in my office, and support and advocacy from myself in my office. So essentially what that means is we offer conditional placements. I'm sorry, conditional acceptances. Goodness, already tripping over my words. We offer conditional acceptances. So that means your acceptance is conditional on you finding an internship. I will say in the 2.5 years now that I've been doing this program alongside Dr. Bird, we've never had to execute a conditional acceptance. So I know that can be nerve-wracking for students, but it's never been something we've had to do before. Um, but essentially the way placement works is once you are accepted into the program, I'll give you a call or an email essentially saying, based off of 3 factors, which are A, your geography. So if you are a constituent of a member, they really like for you to work for them. They like to have what they call constituents, which basically means you're from their congressional district. They're your representative of Congress. Um, they like for you to work for them. So that's one factor. The second is your political alignment. I try not to place students in offices where they feel like they fundamentally disagree with what that office is working on. And then the third is your policy preferences, your policy issue area preferences. So what policies you are interested in. If you're interested in health policy, maybe I'd put you in Dr. Dunn's office. If you are interested in education policy, maybe Frederica Wilson or Randy Fine's office. Something along those lines, based on their committee assignments, based on the things they sponsor and what they talk about often. So once I send you that email, or give you a call, we kind of walk through what a congressional application process looks like. So I give you resume help. I'll work with you pretty extensively on your resume, and then I also help you draft a cover letter, kind of go through what a cover letter is, what they're looking for in it, what they're looking for in your resume. And then once that's done, I will take your resume and cover letter and forward it along to the congressional office via their intern coordinator. So with my job and what I do, I have relationships with every intern coordinator in the delegation. So I send along your resume essentially saying, for example, this is Dr. Bird and he's being sponsored by the university. We would love for you to consider him for your program. I'd say most of the time that gets you an interview. We do interview prep. And then so essentially what that means is I give you a call, we kind of walk through what they're looking for on an application. How do you answer the question of why do you want this internship? How do you answer the question of where do you and the member disagree on policy issues? Things like that. Things where maybe they're trying to trip you up, or maybe that don't seem extremely obvious. Like telling someone that you disagree with them on a policy issue is kind of spooky in an interview. So something like that. And then we go forward from there on getting you a placement. Um, we focus on one office, but we can expand out if maybe that first office doesn't work out. We can always expand out to other offices. The Florida delegation has 30 offices, so lots of options. Um, and yeah, and then we kind of go from there. Anything that I really miss with placement, Dr. Bird?
Well, I just like to say when I kind of talk about that this is a partnership, this is one of the ways it's important to your partner. You're going to follow Miss Beck's lead in the way you interact with these offices, but also when you get an interview, notice for an interview after, let's say we put you forward as someone that we're going to cover, your housing and a stipend. So we make you a conditional offer based on placement. You're going to be eager to check back in with Miss Beck and or myself, but starting with Miss Beck to say, okay, I've got an interview. What do you suggest? We don't want people that are just going to kind of go on it on your own and kind of make stuff up as you go. When we put you forward to these offices, we're really building on and extending from the relationships that Miss Beck the great relationships she has all over DC. So we need people that understand the significance of following her coaching, of responding in a timely manner, of not going off script, but kind of getting that assistance and that insight so that you go in there and represent yourself in the best possible way. That's what I was thinking, Miss Beck.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dr. Bird.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I now have been doing this for a hot minute. So I do have some insight that I like to think is helpful at least, and
Yeah,
that has
definitely.
helped students for the last 2.5 years. So yeah, partnering with us again is a key part of the program. And yeah, I really look forward to partnering with all of you and to hopefully reviewing all of your applications for fall and spring, or sorry, summer. Goodness gracious. And can I give a little caveat on fall versus summer, Dr. Bird,
Oh,
quickly?
please
Would
do.
that be
Thank
all
you.
right?
Thank you for remembering that. Yes.
Yeah, of course. So I know, and I did whip in summer. So I am talking fully hypocritical here, and I fully acknowledge and admit that. But something I always like to say is I know summer is the semester of internships. It's the semester you're trying to get an internship in. It's when you don't often have classes, and it's easiest to leave Gainesville. I mean, fall, you'd have to miss the football season, and no one wants to do that. But I will say. Fall does tend to be a bit more of a robust experience than summer, just because for a couple of reasons. First, there are less interns in DC in fall. So in a congressional office, there may be seven interns in the summer versus maybe three in the fall. And it's the same amount of work in both semesters. So you're going to be competing for more assignments, competing more to have your voice heard and your impact made. And then also summer is shorter. So summer is 12 weeks. In fact, some offices even split those 12 weeks into two sessions. So it's only 6 weeks internships. Versus fall is a full 16-week program. And on top of that, in summer, Congress is out for the entirety of August. It's the August recess. Way back when there was an AC, Washington, D.C. was too hot in August, so Congress people would leave. And they've just held on to that. So Congress is not in session for the entirety of August, which means that there's a lot less work, there are less members around, and it's a little bit slower around the Capitol. Something to keep in mind. Obviously, we do offer the summer program, and we will be considering applicants for fall and summer. But it's just something to consider when you are checking that little box at the beginning of your application of if we can consider you also for fall. Maybe something you want to do. But again, like I said, I know I'm speaking fully hypocritical. I fully understand. A lot of you guys have on-campus commitments. Many of you probably serve on boards of clubs and organizations. Don't want to miss football season, but if it's something that you can swing, it does tend to be more robust of an experience.
Oh, allow me to also mention, if it's okay, Ms. Beck, that oftentimes we will have a placement set aside for the UF Office of Federal Relations. So working under Ms. Beck in that office, the Office of Federal Relations basically advocates for the university in Washington, D.C. and all these compelling spaces. We also expect to have a couple of other government type nonpartisan opportunities in kind of budgetary area, and then also maybe working with veterans in some comms areas, doing some comms work with veterans and active service members, maybe in the area of comms, maybe financial kind of communications about their benefits and pay. So we've got those three kind of nonpartisan spaces that we will be reviewing for summer and fall as well. Is it okay for us to proceed or anything else, Ms.
Yeah,
Beck?
I think that covers it. Thanks, Dr. Bird.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. All right, let's see. Okay, and now again, we're going to hear from another of our persons that have done this program. This is Lizette Mejia, who is our experiential learning student assistant. Lizette, please take it away.
Yay, awesome. So good afternoon, everyone. Like Dr. Bird had mentioned before, my name is Zamihia. I am a current senior here at UF, double major in political science and in economics with a minor in business administration. I live and breathe here at the Bob Graham Center as an experiential learning student assistant. So in this role, I work closely with Dr. Bird to help support our three in-house public service internship programs, including the Washington Internship Program. So a large part of my role is now not only making sure everything runs smoothly, but I do a lot of outreach with student org. So if you've seen my name in the listserv or an email, that's me. I meet with a lot of students to talk about your interests and to talk about my own experience doing WIP. I help review applications, I sit on interviews, so anything under the sun that they need me I'm there. And once students are selected, I kind of work with you guys closely to make sure you guys feel as prepared as possible for your time in DC. So a little bit more about me. I was lucky enough to be placed in the Office of Federal Relations during the fall semester of my junior year. So that was fall 2024. So it's been a year now. I had the privilege of working alongside Shelby. And so a lot of my day-to-day responsibilities really did mirror the work that you would do as a Hill intern. So you do a lot of policy research, you attend congressional hearings, you do the basic administrative duties that help the office run as a whole. But what I believe is a little bit more unique about working at UFFR is, like Shelby had mentioned before, a large part of their job is helping the university understand what goes on down a federal pipeline. And so what that means is they also function as kind of a customer service hub when any university officials come to visit in DC. So last fall semester, I was lucky enough to meet the UF provost. I got to see the dean from the College of Medicine and so forth. So yeah, that part was really special to me, getting to see how the university functions up in Washington, D.C., and seeing how they place those big priorities on the table and represent us as students, faculty, and staff. So something else that I got to do actually that I wanted to talk about too is I got to deliver Gatorade to congressional offices, which is kind of sweet. It may seem like a little bit small or cut and dry, but to me, like it was a reminder that there's a really big Gator community up in Gainesville and or up in DC. It exists beyond the four walls of being in Gainesville, so you really see that sense of pride is not only there with the DC Gator Club, but when you're there with your cohort, it really does make that big city feel a little bit more like home. So after that experience, I kind of stayed in touch with Dr. Bird. He was looking for a new experiential learning student assistant. I did not think I was qualified for the role at all, but luckily enough, it got me here. They liked me enough. And so it's great now to be able to share my experience with others and also get back to a program that gave so much to me. So if any of you all have any questions about my own experiences, please feel free to reach out to me. I will leave my contact information during the Q&A section and then also my LinkedIn as well.
Allow me to.
So yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry, Lizette, am I interrupting?
No, not at all. Go right ahead.
Allow me to say one thing that we're also looking for are students that, let's say, if you're not in your last, sometimes we look for students in their last enrolled term so that you can have a resume in hand or close to that, and then kind of put yourself out there for jobs and be like Miss Beck, where she landed a job. We've got a lot of people landing jobs if they go up in those kind of late terms. But if you're someone like Lizette, who has a year or has some time left, we're really looking forward to students that will engage with us when you're back on campus, either through the Government Community Relations Office. Of course, you wouldn't be in DC to be able to still interact with Miss Beck all the time. But if she visits campus, you want to come and reconnect with Miss Beck. You want to engage with the Graham Center, possibly in some type of role or org. We're wanting people to have some continued engagement. And what we are able to do with that is that when we have opportunities or when there are jobs, or when there are certain types of things. Let's say when you ask for a letter of recommendation for a prestigious award, we've got that much more background with you, or for law school of contact. So we're also looking for people that we can stay in touch with upon your return. Okay. Well, Lizette, are you doing this part or am I doing this
Yeah,
part? Can you remind?
yeah, I can go right ahead. Yeah.
Good.
Okay, awesome. So I wanted to transition into giving you guys some application tips because I know, as Shelby mentioned before, summer is a really, really competitive semester. I know most college students are looking to secure internships in the summer, myself included. I promise you, if we had the bandwidth to send 20 students to DC, we would. But never discount doing a semester or taking off a semester either in the fall or the spring. What's so good about our program is not only do we run in the fall, but we run in not only in the summer, but in the fall and the spring. Sorry, guys, it's getting to 5 o'clock. So they all have their costs and benefits. So please feel free to really sit down and think about it, plan it out with an advisor. I never thought that I was going to take a fall semester off, but luckily enough, it panned out for me. So yeah. So starting off, please know the issues, policies, and elected officials with whom you think you might be a good match for. A great way to do this is by researching on congress.gov. You'll find all the lists of the representatives and senators from both parties on this site. You just kind of have to do your own digging. And then within congress.gov, you'll see the individual profile for each congressional member. So you'll get a lot of extensive information from that. You'll see which part of Florida they represent, so you can see if you're a constituent of that area, how long they've been in Congress, their committee assignments. So that tells you a lot about the policy priorities that align with them and recent votes that have passed, or recent votes they have done on recent bills. Following that, I would recommend seeing which representative most aligns to your interest areas, and then going on and doing even further research. So each congressional member also has their own website. So from there, you can find more of their, I guess, more of their background and kind of how they came to Congress. And you can see even more further information from that. You can find press releases, their areas of interest, and so forth. And that can really help out when you're building your application.
Lizette, could
Secondly,
I jump in
yeah,
really
go right
quickly?
ahead.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Thank you. This is a great point Lizette is making,
Mhm.
everyone, and I really want to emphasize it. There's going to be a question on your application, surprise, just to give you guys a little sneak preview that asks you what offices you want to serve and what your policy issue areas are. Um, know your members, know who you're putting down. Don't put someone who works in like the state legislature. Don't put like
Yeah.
Mike Waltz, who's no longer in the Florida delegation. Know the members that you're putting down. Know their, because like we do use that when we're placing and when we're deciding what offices we're aligning you with. So really do your research on that. That's like a big thing I know at least that I look for when we're reviewing applications.
And we said that we prioritize trying to place people in their home district, but if you don't align policy-wise or politically with that person, then tell us where is a good fit and the why. Tell us the why concisely, intelligently. Tell us the why. Please, Lizette. Thank you.
Yeah, okay, awesome. And then feel free to chime in whenever Shelby or Dr. Bird, I don't mind. So yeah, okay. Secondly, feel free to connect with former DC interns and talk about their experiences. I promise you, like former WIP alums, we're not a fight club. It's all about paying it forward. And all students really did start where you all are at. We attended an info session. We worked hard on our applications. We reached out to former WIP alums. So please, please, please don't be scared to reach out. And if it doesn't work out, it's fine. It's okay. It's not the end of the world. They're not gonna go ahead and tell other WIP alums. They really do want to be able to help you out as much as possible. And so please don't be afraid to ask questions about their experiences because there's only so much that the information from our presentation can tell you in our website. So yeah. And then moving on, remember that any experience is valuable experiences. So here are a list of places, yeah, that Slide is great, Dr. Bird. Here are a list of places to get involved on campus. So obviously to shamelessly plug, the Bob Grimm Center has events and has student organizations to join. I know a few of you guys are involved with the fellows in FPR or in the Public Leadership Society. So please continue being involved on campus. That really helps you get your face here, get your face known here at the Bob Grimm Center and know who we are here at the staff. Volunteer time with campaigns, nonprofits. I know a lot of students also work at district level offices here in Gainesville or back home. That also gives you kind of the foot into the door of like what duties you'll be able to expect in DC, and also allows you to get to see what they kind of why their work is so valuable in DC because they're helping out their constituents back home. Work study
Lizette,
positions
may I
are also
mention
great.
this?
Yeah, go right
So
ahead.
for
Yeah.
all of you, especially for those of you who are thinking about fall, if you can do a district level internship in the summer, aligned with the party or and policies that make sense to you, that is you getting in your foot in the door and establishing a connection that then increases the likelihood that we can place you. So I highly advise if you have someone that you can align with, doing a district level internship in the summer if you're thinking about fall. Please, Lizette, sorry.
Yeah, of course. No, not a problem. Continuing to gain experience. Once again, any experience is valuable experience. Don't discount something as not. Because once again, a large part of your role being up in DC is doing constituent relations. So for example, answering the phone, making sure you're greeting visitors at the front desk or giving Capitol tours. So all of that is translatable to any customer service experience. For example, if you were let's say if you worked at Publix or if you worked at Winn-Dixie. So yeah, I used to work in a work study position before I got into the WIP program. I worked at the class advising center. I used to work in the economics department, so that a lot of those skills are transferable here. Continue to add on and hone to your experiences. For any of you guys that are freshmen and sophomore, it's never too early to start thinking ahead into spring 2027 or even 2028. But yeah, anything else I'm missing, Dr. Bird?
You know, I love to see when people have work experience that communicates they're a humble, hard worker that can take instructions and coaching. So sometimes I've had a student before that we selected who didn't put that they were a lifeguard. And I said, so you're telling me you've interacted with the public in critical situations, rendered care, and connected them to services? Because that sounds a lot like constituent services. And they said, well, yes. I said, well, then let's put that on the resume. I love when I've got people that have worked at Publix because you know what, when I go to Publix and I don't know where to find the peanut butter, you know what happens? They take me to it. That sounds like good constituent services. So if you've had some of these other spaces, I would encourage you education, work experience, and if you've done work with the customer service or client services, office or kind of organization or, staffing. If you've been a server, you have to get things right all day long, even when you're tired. That's an experience we want to see. Sometimes people will downplay that and they'll only foreground their student org advice, their experience. But if you've got some work experience out there that shows that you're a hard worker, that you take coaching, I would encourage you to include that. Lizette, thank you. Sorry.
No, not a problem. Yeah, we can advance to the next slide.
All
Awesome. So
right.
if any of you guys have questions, feel free to use the chat or unmute yourselves. This is your opportunity to, I guess, ask any questions about our experiences or any questions about the program itself.
Hello. I wanted to ask about the 5-minute presentation, Dr. Bird, that you mentioned at the beginning
Yeah.
of the presentation. In the past, what have you found that's made like any previous alums like presentation really impactful?
Miss Beck and I will really work with you in doing lightning presentations to present a compelling idea in complexity, but to present a policy solution. I think the thing that sets people apart in this way is to really understand the professional space that you're operating in and adapt the style that will help coach you in, but a policy that is relevant to the state of Florida, that is actionable, and that you've done research and even can see you can share two different perspectives on. We're wanting people to go to DC that are willing to factor in the insight from opposing or different views. So thank you.
Yeah. So
Also, oh,
something really
sorry.
specific. So like something really specific would be best.
Yeah,
I think
Local.
go ahead, Ms. Beck.
Yeah, also, something I think something specific definitely. You want to pick something that is a federal issue
Yeah,
impacting the university, and you also have to think about who you're presenting to. So you're presenting to my bosses, who are the two federal lobbyists for the university. So this is your opportunity to kind of make almost like a pitch to them of like, I think this program would be super cool for the university, or I think this impact is really important to the university. And something that has really been impactful and I've noticed has really caught their attention is when you present on something that we're like currently working on. And I can help you with that. Like if you shoot me
yeah,
your
we'll help you.
ideas like in the program, I can be like, oh, we're working on this or we're working on this, and this might be applicable. But like I don't know if any of you know about the New World screwworm or if you know, Pierce, about the New World screwworm, but it's like this really weird and scary bug parasite that's like infecting meat.
Mhm.
And Sarah, who's went at the head of our office, had just been on a call with IFAS about it and how we were doing federal research into it. And then a student presented their gator bites on the New World screwworm and how Congress is acting on it and how the UF has great research on it. So like stuff like that really catches their attention as well when you're like when you present something that we are actively working on in the office.
Allow me to
Thank
scroll
you.
through some of these, Pierce and others, and just answer some of these questions that have been mentioned. I just do want to make a note that Dwight said that he has dips on the bottom bunk, so that everyone knows that. Okay, that's right. All right. So, what are the approximate dates for the summer and fall programs? Summer C, so start in May through August. And fall, basically the regular fall term. So the start and end dates are your regular summer C or regular fall term. Around how many students are expected to be selected for summer and fall? We expect to maybe be around 5 for summer, but we could be twice that or more for fall. So we have a lot more placements in fall. It's 5 weeks longer. There's less interns in DC, so factor that how you may. In your opinion, is it plausible to study for and take the LSAT while participating in the summer program? No. I would not advise per se that as a strategy. I mean, if you're not taking any classwork, but when you're working 40 hours a week and then you're going to something after work, and then your friends say, "Hey, would y'all like to go get ice cream at this ice cream place?" You're going to want to say yes, not be the person like, "No, I'm sorry, I got to go study for the LSAT." So I would say do the internship. Look, maybe you try to locate yourself up in DC in a role, spend a year working up there, and then you studying for the LSAT in a different type of context. So generally for the summer, I think that might be kind of challenging. In your opinion, is it? Oh, I already did this one. For the fall, so we get off for Thanksgiving. I mean, for Thanksgiving Day, I would just say for a given fall, and allow Miss Beck, please do chime in here. You're up there to work. So yes, for holidays you're going to get off, and the office is going to close. But in general, it's not the same as a school semester. So our spring people are kind of like, oh, we're going to be working through spring break. Yes, you're going to be working through spring break because you're not at the University of Florida at this moment. You're in a congressional office, and they don't take off for spring break in the same way. Now that's got some caveat to it, and but you want to be prepared to work and understand that the holidays might not be a week like it is in Thanksgiving. Miss Beck, would you say anything? Am I getting that
Yeah,
correct?
I think it kind of depends on your office. We've had
Yeah, it
students who
does.
have been able to go back to Florida for Thanksgiving. We've had students whose offices only closed for 2 days.
Yep.
I thought of my whip semester as a dry run of what it would be like to be an employee somewhere, to have graduated and be a full-time employee, and that ultimately is what happened. But so when you're graduated from college, you get 2 days for Thanksgiving. You get Thursday, you get Friday. And I don't know and then you don't get spring break, you don't get winter break, you don't get summer break. So, something to think about. But yeah, it's not implied that you get a full week off to travel back to Florida for Thanksgiving. No.
Yeah, sorry to tell you all these things about the world after college. Is there a roommate matching portal or is it random? Well, we'd like to think it's not random. We generally hand that over to the housing, but we can get involved in that part in various ways. So that's a great question. What is the start end date of summer C semester? Plan on, and you want to get started. You don't want to delay. We're not looking for people for 6-week internships in the summer. That's about enough time to get caught up to speed and to really be trusted with higher level stuff. We want people that want to get up there as soon as they can and to stay a good portion of time. So if you've got something that you need to start at mid-June, apply to a different semester. Or consider some other opportunity. We want you up there longer. You're trusted with more. You meet more people. The opportunities start to exponentially increase. What examples or things you're looking for in a writing sample? Good, coherent writing, not composed by AI. How about
Yeah,
that?
it's not anything like specific in like topic. We're just trying to make sure you can write and that you're not using AI for things or it's just that you can write in general.
All right. Another person said, can a combined student in a combined master's program apply? If you're still taking credits that count towards your undergraduate degree and you haven't already been awarded your bachelor degree, yes. But you need to be, you have to be a current undergraduate student. There are only 5 accepted in the program, or 5 per office. So for the summer, we expect to have 5 or 6 for the summer total. And to have more like 10, maybe more than 10 for the fall. For the spring, again, 10 or so. And then we'll need another 15 for Tallahassee. Summer, why do we send so few people to summer? Because a lot of these internships split their internships into 6 weeks, and we're paying for all your housing and a stipend. You get up there, for us, 6 weeks is just far too short to really get the learning and the networking that we want for you. We have a small program in the summer, and we really build it out for the fall. When will we know when we're accepted? We will start reviewing and evaluating our pool late this month and into next month. So we would hope by the end of next month, we've got a really good idea of what our cohort's looking like. What advice would you give to out-of-state students who are looking to become involved in the program? It's likely that they will be placed. Well, I would say, I don't know if you've ever met someone from the state of Florida that started living somewhere else, but it's the majority of Floridians. That's not a problem. I would say especially if you can have a connection at the district level somewhere, that helps to get your foot in the door. We're placing in the Florida delegation. A tremendous amount of the Florida delegation weren't born in the state of Florida, but they're here now. You need to help us to know what the connections are, the compelling connections that connect you to these offices that make you a great candidate. If accepted, are we allowed to find alternative? No, you're not allowed to find alternative housing. Thank you, but no. I mean, you're able to pay up if there's other housing available for, let's say, if there's a single room available for WISH. But no, we work with WISH. You're a part of a cohort. That's a part of this. You're joining us and our cohort. If you want to do your own thing, I applaud you. I can give you advice on places that you might track down, but that would be more you doing your own thing, and we love that. We appreciate that because sometimes people have family in DC and other reasons. That's great. For us, we're looking for people that want to go all in with our cohort. If this is the last semester, can I apply for fall? No, you need to be a currently enrolled undergraduate student for this program. Yes,
Can I
please.
speak on that though? Because I was in a very similar
Oh, yes,
situation.
please.
I joined this info session and I was graduating in spring and I joined it spring 2023 and I was supposed to graduate that semester. And then Dr. Bird said exactly what he just said to you, Salome, and I'm sorry if I mispronounced that, which is no, you can't do it if you're not an undergraduate student. And I remember my heart just sank. But what I did, I dropped 3 of my credits like for a random public speaking class and then extended my graduation by a semester and then graduated in summer of 2023 rather than May of 2023 and just took the IDS credits that Dr. Burr was talking about pass fail for 3 credits and that's how I pushed back my graduation for a semester to do this program. Not saying that's for everyone. I know it's extreme, but it did get me a job. So but something to think about.
And she had a
And that
resume in
is an
hand.
and yeah, exactly. I was able to go to coffee chats and networking sessions with my resume in hand saying, I'm Shelby Beck. I want a job. Please give me one. And it worked. So something to think about. I know it's not for everyone and it's kind of an extreme option, but it is an option.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we do value people with a resume in hand able to be hired. There's a lot of turnover in DC. People move from position to position a good bit. So if you're hireable, and you're a go-getter and you got a great attitude, there's a good chance that you might land something. So just keep that in mind. I think Miss Beck, there was someone that said this question's for Miss Beck.
I see it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you got it.
I still don't have a car. I only use public transit in DC. It is totally possible to inaccessible and cheap and safe and relatively clean for public transit, realistically. So yeah, I highly, highly, highly recommend you all do not bring your cars up here. I know in Florida it's like implied that you bring your car everywhere. Parking here costs $250 a month. So if you're willing to pay that, more power to you. But I recommend you don't bring your car up here because you're gonna, and then once you leave that parking spot you're paying $250 for, there's no parking anywhere else in the city. So it's a city, y'all. So I recommend public transit for sure.
Lizette or Beck, Miss Beck, would you like to take this next question?
Yeah. My favorite experience. I'm like a big history nerd. I was a history minor in college. My dad is a history teacher. I used to get quizzed at Christmas on what certain history events before I could open my Christmas gifts. I'm a big history nerd. And my favorite part of the program was just being in this environment and knowing things that were happening, going to congressional hearings and knowing A, what had happened in that room, B, the people I was sitting in that room with, and see the things that I was witnessing happen in real life in real time was history in the making. I just was starstruck. I still am starstruck the entire semester. I thought it was so cool. I got to meet AOC. I got to meet I got to meet Maxwell Frost. I got to meet Neil Dunn and Kat Kamik, and now like I've gotten a hug from a member of Congress, and I think that's the coolest thing about me. So like it's really cool. I still get starstruck. That's probably my favorite part, was just like the people I got to meet, the rooms I got to be in, the spaces I got to occupy. For sure. Felt like a real blessing. Lizette?
I would say the same thing. The networking, the amount of connections that you make up in DC, not only with the prestigious, like high profile people that you meet, but also the other college students that are there to really work on their experiences as well. Yeah, you're there with a cohort of UF students, but there's a lot of other students from other universities who are doing exactly the same thing. So I feel like all of that is so powerful. I really loved meeting new people, talking to new people. To pick on one experience particularly, we had a holiday party my last week there being in UFFR. I really enjoyed that experience because I got to meet everyone in my building that I'd worked with for the past 3 months. So that was very enjoyable. Afterwards, I was lucky enough to also get a tour of the FIU Government Relations building, which is really fun. So it really is exciting to get to meet new people because it really does open the door to other opportunities and other things out there in DC.
Thank you both. So someone asked, is it harder to get accepted for those who are from the minority party, considering more students are also likely applying to the members of the party? Well, I would just say if if you're applying to spots where there are less spots, it may be incumbent upon you to think about your body of work and add a layer to it. Like, for instance, can you establish a connection through a district level office? And so I would just say if there are less spots, whether it be this internship jobs or whatever, if there are less openings, let's say park ranger in Yosemite National Park, there's less spots over there. Everybody wants to go. So can you build a body of work logically that helps you to move from kind of advance further in the pile? Do consider a way to establish a connection with the district level office as one of those strategies.
Also,
Oh, please.
sorry, Gunford. I just want to emphasize we're a bipartisan program though, so we accept equal amounts of Republicans versus
Yep.
Democrats relatively across the board. So it's by no means any more difficult to get into our program if you are a Republican versus a Democrat or vice versa. We accept equal levels.
Yep. And do please remember too, again, we have some nonpartisan spaces. You have federal relations potentially, a comms type, a communications type role, working on behalf or on the benefit of veterans, for the benefit of veterans, and maybe a budgetary office. Some internships prioritize juniors and seniors to ensure they have enough experience. Is your grade level a consideration? Yes, it's when we have 120 applications for a few spots, I start with my fourth and third years. Uh, that doesn't mean that we wouldn't take a sophomore. We do every semester. And it doesn't mean we wouldn't take a sophomore over a junior, but yeah, we'll prioritize potentially people with a little bit more experience. So just continue building your experience semester by semester, seeking out opportunities. We have a tremendous amount of people that apply to this one semester. We're not able to take them. They get coaching from Miss Beck and I, and then they apply again, and they're at the front of our line. For fall internships, would you still have to be enrolled in at least one class to be considered a full-time student? Since the fall internship covers 9. The fall internship credits, IDS 4940, can cover up to 9 credits, but you can take it from 0 to 9. So if a person wanted to get up to a threshold of 12 credits for Bright Futures or Pell Grant, that's something that you can definitely discuss with financial services. Yes, you would take then one more online class to get you up to that amount. But I would say please do proactively if you're accepted or offered a conditional offer to us. Communicate with your home department and me very quickly and proactively, because sometimes we can do a combo of credits that help you the most.
Yeah,
Okay.
I wanted to add to that too. Please do talk to your academic advisors. Me, I was a former business student. When I was doing WIP, I was a finance major, and part of being a finance major is you have to complete an internship program or find an internship while you're enrolled in the business school. So sometimes they offer courses, business internship courses or poli-sci internship courses. And I promise you the work isn't hard at all because they understand you're doing a full-time internship that runs 40 hours a week. So sometimes they have you edit your resume or edit your cover letter or do a weekly journal. So the work isn't hard, too hard to keep up with, but I recommend meeting with your academic advisors to plan out accordingly.
Okay. Let's see here. I don't think I have any more questions, so we're coming
That
up
was
on
like
our
a
time.
speed run, Dr. Bird. That was
That
so
was
impressive.
That was it. We got it. We got it. Okay. Well, Miss Beck, I'd like to say thank you for zooming in. Please be careful as you walk down the ice concrete ways. That sounded terrible. What you were describing. So please be careful with that. Lizette, thank you for organizing this. Everyone, thank you for zooming in. It'll take us about a week or so, but we'll have this posted. In the meantime, if you're interested, do know that there's an old info session that you can watch online. Do also think about this opportunity for summer and fall, but think about maybe some district level opportunities or other opportunities back home at the county city level. Pursue those right now. Those types of things are opening up. It's okay to put your application out there for a couple of things, and then you go to the thing that works out. Allow me to say my very best to you this Thursday afternoon from the Bob Graham Center. We're very appreciative of all you, and we hope to see you anytime at the center in one of our classes, in one of our student groups, at one of our public programs. We value strong partnerships across this campus and even in places like Washington, D.C. with Miss Beck and others. My very best to you. Bye now.